No.
Hey guys, this is Cindy from Keep It Real Podcast. Destiny's not here with me this evening. She had a previous engagement. We're here with Paul Spencer from Out of the Box Sports, and we're so excited to have Dahlia Black as our guest this evening. Hey, how are you?
Hey guys, thanks for having me on.
Oh, thank you for coming on. Um, do you want to tell people a little bit about yourself before we get started with questions?
Yeah, sure. I am a nobody, so for those of you that don't know, I am the Black Dahlia. Facebook made me put my name backwards, which is horrible for my dyslexia, but yeah, so I am the Black Dahlia of professional wrestling, aka the Chainsaw Queen, and there's not much to say besides the questions you guys are going to ask, so I'm stoked to get into this interview. I just woke up, guys. Sorry.
All right. Well, Dahlia, I do have a question for you. How did you come up with the chainsaw? The chainsaw queen. I've seen a couple
Love this
videos
question.
of you, but you probably get asked a million times about this. But chainsaw queen, as beautiful as you are, the drop dead gorgeous queen. Why are we chainsaw queen? Why are we the chainsaw queen?
Such a good question. Thanks for asking. I love that this is the first question, actually. So basically, okay, so I'm the first female to carry a chainsaw in professional wrestling, so that's badass. I've been doing it since 2016, and actually I have to give credit to my best friend Nathaniel. He goes by the Killbilly. So long story short, I was going by, okay, so when I got involved with the business back in 2011, I wanted to have a serious, like, theater presence in wrestling, like a serious name. So instead of doing this, like, these horrible tacky stripper names, I actually came up with the Black Dahlia, and I was the first ever Black Dahlia of professional wrestling too. So in 2011, but basically taking my name seriously as the Black Dahlia, I was more of a evil Miss Elizabeth style or a scary Sherry style valet. But when I was transitioning into a wrestler under Rikishi, he was all about gimmicks, and he was all about what do you want to do to bring to your character. So Nathaniel was doing this like rock star gimmick, and I was doing this evil Black Dahlia Miss Elizabeth style gimmick. So if memory serves me correct, he wanted me to do a straight up Native American gimmick, and Nathaniel to do like an Appalachian Mountain hillbilly gimmick, and just to play into our heritage and our cultures. So we're like, with all due respect, coach, we have this chainsaw idea. And he heard us out, and it was 2016, and basically the Chainsaw Queen was born. And of course I have to give credit to Nathaniel for helping come up with this gimmick, because I mean, if you think about professional wrestling, a lot of people have done the Leatherface gimmick, or men have carried chainsaws out, or people do an Ed Gein skin face style gimmick, or people do a horror movie style gimmick. But our gimmick is 100% original, because we are the urban legends of professional wrestling, and we're the first ever people to have cryptozoology intertwined into our gimmick. So instead of us just being a ripoff of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, we're actual urban legends going after serial killers, and that's the human flesh. Or we have aliens because we heard there was a UFO sighting, and we went and we have alien skins, and then Bigfoot, and then the next is Krampus or a Wendigo. So being the first ever chainsaw queen of professional wrestling is pretty cool. But also being the first ever urban legend gimmick of professional wrestling, that's so fun.
I think that's awesome that you're going after Bigfoot and Krampus and all these people. I really like that. That's cool. That's a cool
And then it
gimmick.
kind of also plays into my OG gimmick of the Black Dahlia, because Elizabeth Short is such a horrible, tragic story of a beautiful young woman, and just paying homage out of respect to Elizabeth. I've always respected what happened to that poor innocent actress, and unfortunately Hollywood portrays her as a whore, as a promiscuous woman, and I think she was just a young 22-year-old woman that was the wrong place, wrong time, and was murdered, and she became the gimmick of the Black Dahlia. So correlating that gimmick, it is an urban legend. It is a serial killer, an unsolved murder. So having the Black Dahlia gimmick into my urban legend chainsaw queen gimmick, it's so fun.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
Yeah, I like that. And I saw that Nate said birth of the chainsaw queen. She's as equally responsible for doing the chainsaws gimmick as I am.
I am so glad you have good vision, because everything's blurry. Like, I can't see. I'm going to the eye doctor tomorrow. I promise to get contacts, but everything's a blur. Thank you, Nate, for
do me a favor, Dahlia. Make sure you get your contacts before you pick up that chainsaw again, okay? Because we don't want you to drop that chainsaw like too close to your face.
It is actually scary how many times I have done that without being able to see.
Oh man.
Yeah, what was it like being trained by Rikishi?
Honestly, I get asked this question a lot. What was it like training under Rikishi? What was it like being trained under Funaki? And then also with Nathaniel, he gets asked, what was it like training at OVW under Rip Rogers, the legend? So honestly, like I just said, legend, like, it's so cool. There's so many people out there involved with wrestling that just do not get it. That just, they don't take it seriously and train and perfect the art of wrestling and the craft of the sport, because we are athletes. And a lot of people just will go to a local indie company, roll around with the boys and say they're trained, and then they go out there and hurt someone, and they're completely unprofessional, like guys, girls out there. So being legit trained is something I take to really, really seriously, whether when I was just a model, whether when I was just the actor, whether when I was just the valet, whether now that I am a professional wrestler. I take your resume very seriously, looking at it as a job. So Nathaniel trained at OVW under Rip Rogers, phenomenal coach. I would be sitting in a corner reading a book because Rip didn't want me to sit out in the cold. And because it was like, I was just like an 18-year-old kid, and we would drive 4 hours for Nathaniel to go train at OVW. And I remember Rip was like, why are you out in the vehicle? Because we were poor kids and we couldn't keep the vehicle running. And Rip would be like, come inside. And where I was just a valet at the time, I didn't want to, train as a wrestler. So I remember just sitting in the corner reading a book so I wouldn't freeze outside. It was like, winter time, and I think it was like Louisville, Kentucky. And Rip Rogers was pretty cool. And then when I decided to take professional wrestling seriously and be more than just the manager, just the valet, I wanted to prove myself as an athlete. Training under Funaki was so cool. Like, Funaki had a setup. Like, now he's a part of, I believe it's a hybrid school down in San Antonio, Texas. But at the time, he had his own school. And guys, think San Antonio, summertime, over 100 degrees. Freaking, it was a Spartan gym where all these Spartan athletes, like I think they were like MMA fighters and stuff, would be weight training and training all around us. And then there'd be a random wrestling ring in the corner with the garage up. So all the San Antonio Heat would be coming in. And then there, Nathaniel and I would be getting off night shift, and we'd be standing there like dead. And there would be Funaki with an NXT shirt on, and this was 2014. No. It was 2015 into 16. And Funaki would come in his like jumpsuit, like that had the NXT logos on the pants and stuff. And he was just training down there at NXT, and it was like all new. And I was just like, this is intimidating as F. This is insane. And then he would train us just like they would down at the Performance Center. And in the San Antonio Heat, awful. Like it was insane. We did that for like 6 months, and then we met Rikishi at WrestleMania in 2016, and we worked for his show. It was kind of surreal. Do you guys want to hear that story?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So we're living in San Antonio, Texas, working night shift at our shoot job, training under Funaki. Like, see, a lot of people don't know this, but like after being a valet for so long, Nathaniel and I were like, let's just strictly train. And we restricted our wrestling bookings, and we just focused on training under Funaki. So as we were focusing on molding and training, we got an opportunity to work for Rikishi's show during WrestleMania weekend. It was like 2016 down in Dallas. So we just drove up, right? Oh my gosh. So I have the footage still on my phone, but there's WrestleMania, right? We're in the parking lot in this random building working this indie show. And we see all the banners and stuff. And then I turn around, and then there he is, Rikishi. And I'm just like, damn. I was like, this is so cool. And I'm going to get their names wrong, Nathaniel, because I'm so dyslexic and horrible with names. But who was on the card with us on the indie show, Nathaniel?
Chainsaw Black Dahlia.
Did you hear him?
Yeah.
I believe Raquel Rodriguez was there.
Raquel. Wow. They were on the card with us on the indie show, and
wow.
Yeah. And it's just so surreal now to see where they've gone in their careers. Mm-hmm. And I'm really happy for them. But just to be there, and then Rikishi's saying, hey, I would like you kids to come out to my school in Los Angeles. And it's like, fuck yeah. You know, so
wow.
So what was it like training under Rikishi? I'm a dumbass, and LA was really expensive even back then. So 2016 into 17, for 7 months, I slept out of my vehicle working my nighttime job, 10-hour night shift, and I slept out of my vehicle in the daytime, and my air conditioning would not work in my shitty ass vehicle. So for 7 months, just to train under Rikishi, I would sleep out of my vehicle in the daytime, work a full-time night shift. I would work out at Planet Fitness right there in Burbank, and then try to sleep. You know, I'd work out, shower, and then I would go and train under Rikishi for like 3 hours, and then get in LA traffic, and then go back to work. And I did that for 7 months just to become a professional wrestler. And not many people would do that.
Yeah,
and school was so expensive. Like, if I at the time, school was just under like $300 a month. It was like $280 something. I had the school payments like down to like $200 per person, but I would pay double school payments, so $400. So that was $800 a month I would be paying. So we couldn't afford rent out there. So I would pay $800 a month, and then it was like $1,000 down payment, I think, per person. So like it was very expensive to go to these schools, but I wanted to, you know, learn from the best. And I paid literally, and I paid my dues physically. Like, a lot of people are not willing to make the sacrifice. Like I went days without food just so I could train. And I was in the gym every day, even though I was sleeping out of my vehicle, you know? Like when in LA they lock up bathrooms, I had to use the toilet in a cup and use wet wipes, you know, for wrestling. Like I know what hunger feels like. I know what sun poisoning feels like. Like I sacrificed everything to become a professional wrestler, and to end up being put in a wheelchair and handicapped for the rest of my life is the most surreal thing ever. But I wouldn't trade it for the world. So training under these legends was pretty badass, guys.
Wow. Speaking of that, Dahlia, I do have a question for you. Can you explain to me what CRPS is? I mean, that's something that you've overcome, and crazy kudos to you, because you've come a long way. And can you speak about that, please?
Yeah, of course. So I gave you the setup of my rough background. As I was wrestling in a match out under Rikishi, I ended up tearing both ligaments in both my feet. I'm an idiot, and I stayed out there for 2 more months, slept out of my vehicle, trained, worked out with torn ligaments, worked a full-time job, lifting heavy equipment, pallets, unloading semis with torn ligaments in both my feet. And I developed an illness. And I didn't know this at the time, but I developed an illness called CRPS. And so basically for the past 6 years, I've been going down the medical rabbit hole of being injured and misdiagnosed and going through 4 different foot surgeries to finally be diagnosed just 3 months ago. So to educate everybody, CRPS is the most painful disease known to mankind. And CRPS is incurable. And it basically, I have it in both of my feet. And okay. So basically, guys, it's a lot. It's a lot, and I'm just okay. So I'm going through what's called the grieving period. It's surreal to be handicapped. It's surreal to have an illness. It's surreal to. It's like being told you have cancer. It's surreal. It's like me, and it's called going through the grieving process because I'm mourning my life before my handicap. And I'm also going through another grieving process of I was not diagnosed for 6 years. So what that means is this is the most painful pain a person could feel. And I know it sounds insane, but a woman can go into childbirth and that's not as painful as what I feel. Wow. You can have someone come up to you right now and hack off one of your limbs. That's nothing compared to what I feel right now. And that sounds so insane because I sound so normal. Yeah, I sound sleep deprived right now. I sound tired right now. I sound like wake the fuck up and have some coffee right now. But I'm in so much pain you would never know. Wow. So I'm going through a grieving process of how dare the medical community not diagnose me sooner. Because this is nicknamed the suicide disease. Mm-hmm. Because not only is it the most painful disease, it's incurable. So people are literally, like, if you get it in your wrist, people are finding doctors to chop off their arms just so they don't feel it anymore. Mm-hmm. And sometimes it works for people. And they're like, hey, the pain's gone. This woman had it in her leg in Australia, and she had her leg chopped off. And she's running marathons now, pain-free. Wow. So, not to get all sappy or anything, now that I'm waking up a little, I kind of want to point out that I have a voice that whispers to me, whether it's my ancestors or my guardian angel, or maybe I'm schizophrenic. I don't know. No, I'm joking. No, there's some intuition that tells me that, and even my doctor, which I filmed all of it, but even my doctor pointed out that I think I went undiagnosed, unfortunately, for a reason.
Mm.
And now that I know what I have, now that I know the name of it, and now that I'm a part of a community and a support group, and I'm seeing all these other people that are suffering with this illness, there's so many people undiagnosed out there, and they're killing themselves. And that's not right. So I think that the reason I went undiagnosed and suffered for so long, unfortunately, I think it's because I was supposed to survive so I could be on a platform and tell people about CRPS and make sure not another person goes undiagnosed ever again. I think that's what I'm supposed to do, guys. Like, not to sound like I'm like going to be the Queen of England or some shit, but like I really think that I know I'm going to be writing a book. I know I'm already in talks with the Discovery Channel right now, and I'm pitching a pilot to, it's a pilot pitch, you know, it's not like greenlit or anything, but I'm pitching the idea of my brand, which is called Wrestling with CRPS. So it's kind of like a pun, a metaphor, but then also I'm a wrestler that has CRPS. I kind of feel like my destiny is to not only help people, but save people's lives, because a lot of people are in chronic pain and you would never know. Like, people are going to see me in a wrestling ring and they're not going to realize that I'm in so much pain. People are normally in a hospital or hooked up to an IV, but yet here I am wrestling. And a kid, like, there's kids that need to see that.
Yes.
There's a man in my DMs right now, and his son is like a freaking 14-year-old child that has it in his spine. And it's like, guys, I'm an infant when it comes to this. Yes, I've been battling this for 6 years. Yes, I can tell you in detail what CRPS is, but I'm learning the medical terminology now. So I'm still an infant and educating myself, and I have people already reaching out to me for help. And it's just like, Jesus, I don't even know how to help myself. But it's happening. And I genuinely think I'm supposed to bring awareness to CRPS and help people and save lives, because you're not supposed to be chopping off your limbs. You're not supposed to be like, the pain was so bad. Like, people think I'm doing so good right now, and I am. But there was a time when I couldn't get out of bed and walk to the toilet. That was so excruciating. There was a time when I couldn't stand in a shower and bathe my body. It was so excruciating. I couldn't walk around Walmart and grocery shop. It was so excruciating. I was like screaming and vomiting. Like, that's what CRPS is. And if people want to know the truth of it, when I was abandoned by the medical community in 2019 and was told, here's $400 arches you have to pay out of pocket, like molded to your feet. Good luck, kid. Lose some weight. That's what the medical community told me to do when I was in a wheelchair. I paid $400 for them to do moldings of my feet, and I was told I was like body shamed, and I was told to lose weight. And I, unfortunately, as a woman, we're not taken seriously when it comes to our pain. And I was in a wheelchair. Granted, I was 100 pounds heavier. I put on 100 pounds in the wheelchair. But to be told basically, lose some weight and you'll be fine. And it turns out I was actually battling the most painful disease, and I was at a level 10 at that time. How dare the medical community do that to me? So when I taught myself how to walk again, I was by myself in Planet Fitness. Of course, I had Nathaniel helping, but I had to do it all by myself. From January all the way to the end of the year, it was 2019 into 2020. Of course, the pandemic would happen after I learned how to walk again. But I literally was in Planet Fitness getting out of a wheelchair, and I have video footage of it. And I taught myself how to walk again, and it took me an entire year. And by the end of the year, I was in Planet Fitness for 10 hours every day.
Wow, wow. I tell you what,
And
Dahlia, that's an inspiration because a lot of people don't know this about me. I'm 52, and 2017, I went through a hard time and I tried to commit suicide. You know, a
I'm
lot of people
sorry.
don't know that about me, but I tell you what, listening to your story, if you can affect one person in their lives and make a change for them, you've done the right thing. And just like you said, maybe it was a reason why you got it, because listening to your story, it brings tears to my eyes just listening to one person speak about such a hard thing that they have, but they don't look at it that way. It's hard, but then they learn about it and they try to help other people in their lives too. That's something great. I acknowledge you for that 100%. Thank you for that.
Yeah, thanks. I'm sorry for your pain and I'm sorry for your truth, but I'm glad you're here with us.
Definitely. Yeah.
And
Mhm.
I'm so glad to know you.
Thank
And
you.
I'm glad that we can bring awareness to mental health. And I'm
Right.
glad that we're both here today. I think that's so
Yes.
cool that you're here today.
And
And
that's the greatest feeling too. Like after I knew what I did, I was very coherent what I did, and I
yeah.
was locked up in a room for about 4 days at Friends Hospital in Philadelphia, which I
Oh,
want to talk
sorry.
about Philadelphia coming up with you in a couple minutes here.
Okay.
But and I started reaching out to suicide prevention as a tutor, you know, a personal
Oh, cool.
operator, listening to people and hearing their stories. If I can help one person do what I was set out to do, but you know, the man upstairs said, no, it's not time for you to do this yet. So I
Yeah.
reached out to help a couple people, and it's an inspiration. So, you know, once
Oh,
again,
yeah.
kudos to you, please.
So
Definitely.
proud of you. That's so cool that you're bringing awareness and that you're actually like joining groups and like you're helping
Hmm.
people. So fucking sick. Hell yeah. Me, if I'm being honest, like I have to have a purpose or I'm gonna go insane.
Right.
You know, like I just I'm not some superhero. Like I'm the black sheep of my family. I'm very flawed.
Me too.
I have I'm not perfect, and I don't think I am the stereotypical what you would think of. Like if you think of a politician and it's like perfect person, I'm the inspiration. It's like it's you don't think of the person that's wearing an alien Santa outfit. Like I mean, with like fucked up hair extensions and bags under their eyes because they don't know how to sleep.
And carries a
I
chainsaw too.
honestly, you're not gonna Google search me when you want your kids to look up an inspiration, but hi.
Hey,
But
go ahead. I'm sorry.
no, it's fine. I ramble when it's either I get really quiet when I'm tired or I ramble. So yeah, I just have to have a purpose. I have to help people if that makes sense because in realistic terms, I shouldn't be here. Like I should never have survived this because I went like I still do not take pills for this, and I'm not shaming anyone that does, but I was at a level 10, the worst without pills, without medicine. So there's no reason why I should be alive right now. Like, imagine the worst pain you've ever felt, guys. Put it in the bottom of your feet, and then people in your ear, your family, doctors, everyone just saying you're being a pussy.
Mhm.
It's not that bad. I've had back surgery. I broke my leg before. I'm doing fine. Like, everyone telling you that and invalidating you and telling you that hey, it's fine, get over it, you're young, you'll bounce back, you're just being a little fatty, lose some weight, and then it turns out it's actually the most painful thing a human could go through. And I had no medicine, no help, and I literally was in my own head and I survived. But there's people out there that are not surviving and I need to help them.
Good. Wow. Wow.
Not that I'm a fucking Mother Teresa over here or some shit. Like, I'm not perfect. I'm human. I'm flawed, and I'll be apologizing until the day I die. But I'm gonna help people.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Cindy, we got
I
about
want
20 minutes left. What do you want to ask? Go ahead.
Shit, ask me questions. Ah!
I wanted to say that Destiny was so upset she couldn't be here, but she's actually at training right now with Bobby Blaze.
Bobby,
Yeah.
Bobby,
So she's
Bobby.
actually
Oh, okay. So you guys heard the OVW backstory of Nathaniel and then Funaki and Rikishi, but my OG backstory is Bobby motherfucking Blaze.
He's amazing.
So there I am, just the theater nerd that got involved with wrestling, and I am contemplating. I got accepted in the New York Film Academy, and I'm just like, okay, so am I going to pursue my theater, or am I going to continue this valeting experience? Because valeting is a very serious art, and it's needed as a manager. I just wanted to be more sort of like the Paul Heyman female, you know. So when Bobby got a hold of me, it was 2014 into 15, and it was right before I left to go to Funaki's. And the reason I left to go to Funaki's was because of Bobby Blaze. Bobby Blaze was my first mentor, and he was the first person that actually locked up with me. And there's video footage of it. I have been documenting my journey for years, and Bobby Blaze is one of the kindest, most humble people out there. So tell her no worries, and that her priorities are exactly in order. I do not blame her, and that when I'm medically cleared, I will be out there to hang out sometime with Bobby and all of you guys.
Oh, there you go.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Wow.
I was wanting to tell you that she was one of the big reasons that she was wanting to be here was she follows you. And she was saying what an inspiration you are to her.
Fuck
And
yeah,
to keep going.
cool.
Yeah. To keep going, and that
fuck yeah.
you're so body positive, because she dealt with, sorry Destiny, I'm outing you here. She dealt with bullies so much that she wanted to commit suicide. It's crazy how this turned into this conversation on here. But
no worries.
yeah, she didn't want to live. Everybody made fun of her weight, you know, and so she ended up homeschooling because she refused to go back. And when she found wrestling, it turned everything around for her. And when she heard your story, she was like, Mom, she's so awesome. She's like, I just love her. I really want to talk to her, you know?
Yeah,
So,
well, tell her to DM me privately anytime, and I'm definitely here for her, and I'm so glad she's still with us. And, you know, people suck, especially kids, you know? Like, just, people are fucking cunts, and you just notice people say the most when people say the most absurd and outlandish things about you, it's just a reflection of them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and also in the end, whoever is saying it, do they matter? Like, in this scheme, who is this person? You know, do they pay your bills? Are they sharing a bed with you? Are they, no, they don't matter. It doesn't matter if they're blood. It doesn't matter if they were friends since childhood. It doesn't matter if someone disrespects you, that's them disrespecting you, and that's them showing their truth and their true colors. And if it's just a stranger that's hating online, or a bully, or a troll, they're just showing who they are as a person. We're human, we're flawed, and if the person is too narcissistic to admit that they're wrong, they don't matter in the end. It's like, to your daughter, do you want to be friends with that person? No. Is that person just such an amazing person, you just desperately want them to be your friend? No.
Right.
So who cares? Who cares?
Yeah. Well, we got about 12. We got about 12 minutes left. I do want to ask you something. I'm from Philadelphia.
We're on a time crunch.
Well, yeah, we have the show right after this one that we have to get to. But my question to you is, I'm from Philadelphia. I wasn't born and raised there, but I lived there for 30 years. I moved up near Pittsburgh now. But what's going on December 16th? I know you're at Icons of the Wrestling. One of my good friends is going to be down there. Izzy Moreno is going to be down there. So what's going on December 16th at the arena down there at the Icon of Wrestling? So what's going on there?
Shit. I hope my boss isn't watching. I'm gonna be making an appearance. Come take a photo with the Chainsaw Queen. So Icons, basically, I'm just there to do a meet and greet with fans, interact with everyone, and I know people mention the show after, but I'm not medically cleared, so I can't. I'm not going to be, for my mental health, I'm not going to be. I'm not going to get involved with the show, but basically, I'm just interacting with fans, getting my name out there, and I'm going to be on a table with a lot of beautiful women, and I get to interact with them and make connections. And yeah, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania next weekend. If you guys want to stop by and get a photo with me, they're making they want to do a Christmas gimmick, okay? They want to do a Christmas gimmick and have us dress up in like Christmas gimmicks. And like, listen, I'm kind of goth, and I'm gonna run this by you guys, okay? So everyone, like in my head, like this girl's gonna be like cutesy Santa, and this person's gonna be cutesy, like, you know, an elf. I want to be like Krampus, you know, like I'll be like in my black outfit, get up, and then like maybe like a scary Krampus mask. Or do you think that's weird? Like, can you imagine all these hotties dressed up and like looking cute and like in like a little gingerbread outfit, and then I'm like Krampus standing there?
Okay, I'll be honest with you. Here's what you should do.
You can make anything look good. Sorry.
Like, can you imagine though? Can you imagine?
Dahlia, here's what you need to do. You need to put on, don't cover the face though, you know, put makeup on, or like do like a scary face. But that picture next to you right there, you do some like stockings or whatever, high boots, all black. You know what? Because that like, to me stands out more to me than all these other like gingerbread, you know, little bitty face girls, you know.
So, okay, so I covered myself, and I did order like the stereotypical elf outfit, and then the Santa outfit, and then the like 2 different red and green outfits that I'm gonna at least model in. Like, they'll get their use. It's a Shein outfit. But I did order off of Amazon. It's the tongue, and then the ears, and it's Krampus. So if I wore my goth black outfit, like, so I could be the goth girl in the group or something. But how funny is that? Like, everyone is so cute, dressed up, and it's like I can see the TikTok now, like all the girls looking hot and cute, and then there's me, and like I'm like, I'm Krampus. I will never get booked ever again.
No.
Oh boy.
And everyone's like, we want a photo of everyone but her. And I'll be like, understood.
That's crazy.
Well, what other questions do you have besides that? Because I'm an open book, guys. Like, I know I ramble a lot.
What I can say in regards to what you're dressing is just be yourself. You've proven that you are yourself. Be yourself, no matter what other people say about you, because whatever they say about you, that means, you know what, you're on their mind. So kudos to you. Whenever someone speaks bad about you, you are their influencer. You are their positive. So let them talk. Be yourself. Be yourself.
I mean, I'm just gonna be honest with you guys. I am self-conscious about like meeting other people and them like approaching being handicapped, you know, because like a lot of people are gonna just think, oh, that's a cute little girl, and then like I don't know, it's gonna be so surreal like when I'm able to wrestle again, because it's gonna happen, guys. Like, I have my doctor's appointment coming up again, and a lot of videos are gonna be released soon. But like, it's gonna be so surreal, like interacting with my colleagues and then telling, you know, be like, hey guys, I have CRPS. I would like you guys to treat me normal, but just so you know, if I act a little weird, it's because I'm in pain. Like, I don't want people to baby me, but I am disabled, and it's just unfortunate that I have to be that person, you know?
Gotcha.
I don't know.
Well, you make sure that you keep us updated on where you're going to be.
Yes. So, if you guys want, like, I'm not gonna make the official announcement right now, but when's WrestleMania? I
think it's in June or April or something like that in Philadelphia.
Well, okay. If you don't know the date, you don't know the date. Okay, don't mess with my brain right now.
All I know is I have 2 tickets right on the ramp, 16 rows from the stage.
Oh fuck yeah. Okay, so yeah, so it's like into March, beginning of April or something, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, so yeah, that's all I'm gonna say.
Ooh, really? Something. Okay.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, keep
Winter
it's
time
April.
is cooking. Winter time.
It's April 6th. It's April 6th, Dahlia.
Okay.
Knew it. You tried to throw me off that May stuff, and I was like, no, wait a minute. I was calculating my doctor's appointments and then my therapy appointments. I'm like, wait.
Wow, that's awesome.
Oh
Well,
no,
I'm
like
definitely going to go
basically.
now. I was going to sell them. Now I'm definitely going to go because I don't know what's going to happen at WrestleMania. So
What?
I'm going now.
Okay, well, let's not be too presumptuous, but there's a lot going on in the community and in the town, and
Okay.
I'm already, yeah. So
Awesome.
yeah.
Well, Cindy, we have like 4 minutes. Is there any final question that you want to ask Dahlia before we get out of here?
Just how do people get hold of you? And if they want to learn more about your story, how they can find that out. And will you come back with us again when we have more time?
Yes. Okay. So I 1,000% will come back, and you guys can have me on before certain debuts and guys. My first debut back after being diagnosed with CRPS was at the Wrestling Universe store. I was doing a signing with Alicia Fox. Like that was my first dramatic appearance back into wrestling, is doing a signing like that before I even wrestled my first match yet. So imagine what my debut match is going to be like. So let's just leave it at that. I will come on before that or maybe after that. So I will keep in touch. Tell your daughter to DM me. I am an open book, and my DMs get flooded, but as soon as I see them, I'm there for her. Okay. Well, actually, like DM me and I'll give you my personal number. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. And as for everyone else, really quick, sorry, time crunch. Dahlia. I am the Black Dahlia Chainsaw Queen. You can find me on all my socials, TikTok, Instagram, Dahlia, Black Dahlia _47, OnlyFans, and then of course Facebook, because it's silly. Flip it, Dahlia Black.
Gotcha. Are you on Twitter, Dahlia?
Yeah, but I'm like a baby over there. I think it's the same as my Insta, like Black Dahlia 47, and
okay, great. I'll friend you on there because I'm usually on Twitter, so I'll start tagging you on everything out there. Let's get this word out about CRPS as well.
Yes.
Let's start talking about that too.
Yes, there's even doctors that do not know it exists. CRPS is the cryptozoology of illnesses. It is the most painful disease, and there is no cure, but let's find a fucking cure, and let's make sure no one ever goes undiagnosed ever again. CRPS, guys.
Definitely, yeah. Spread the word as much as you can, because one word goes a long way. Word of mouth goes a long way. If it can affect one person by helping them, then you've done your job. 1 in a million is not a big number, but that one kid you saved a life for, and they reached out. He reached out to you for a reason. So continue it on. I praise for you 100%.
It's overwhelming. I'm the black sheep of the family. It is overwhelming, and I no one can prepare you for this, but like all the people that are flooding in my DMs right now, like I'm just like, okay, this is it. This is what I need to do. Even if I'm scared and I don't know how to do it, hi.
Gotcha.
I'm here for everyone.
Gotcha. Well,
you got our support 100%.
Definitely.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate you. I'll be as real as possible, and have me back on, please, and have Nathaniel on. He's a great guy.
Definitely. We do have to. Yeah.
Sorry.
Nice.
Maybe we could have you on together sometime.
Yeah, if you want. Yeah, of course. And he has a lot of stuff going on, because you got to think he stepped away from wrestling just to take care of me.
Wow.
He has such an incredible story, and he has a lot of truth to be told. And like he even restricts his bookings right now just to take care of me. So he deserves the freaking world. And if you look up the statistics of whether they're spouses, roommates, friends, if you look up statistics of people that are around people with CRPS, it's not good. We get abandoned a lot. Gotcha. And so Nathaniel's a really rock star, and you guys really should hear his story.
Awesome. Yeah, definitely. Don't be a stranger. Cindy and Destiny will keep in touch with you. I'll keep in touch with it as well. Even if we don't have to be a wrestling show, we can talk about, CRPS as well, talk about daily life. And if we can reach people, we do that in many ways. So let's stay in touch. Definitely. 100%.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me on.
All right. Sydney, you want to take us out of here, Sydney?
Yes. Thank you for being here. Everybody go check out Dahlia's story. We'll tag all of her socials so that you'll know exactly where to find her. Again, thank you for being with us. This is Cindy from Keep It Real, Paul Spencer from Out of the Box Sports. I'm so sorry. And my dark car. And we'll see you next time. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
That's great.
Bye-bye.
See you guys.